Just right there is a Golden Gate Bridge. I'm gonna drive across Golden Gate Bridge later on back to the San Francisco area. I'm gonna start today with a morning run. It seems to be a very enjoyable morning for a run, and it's gonna start the day right. I think you have to be very careful if you're doing a trail run, because obviously there's no map or cell phone service here, so you have to exactly know where you're going, otherwise you can get lost, and not in a good way, because it's just going for miles and miles. So just be careful. I just got lost. My original plan is to go to the Golden Gate Bridge with the trail, but never mind. It's too many different paths and it's all look like this, and I don't want to get lost because that will definitely ruin my day. And so I'm gonna go back to the main road, so at least on the main road I can navigate myself much better, and hopefully I don't get lost. So there's like so many trails, so you have to choose from wisely. Back to the main road, and this time I'm gonna stick with it, even though this is gonna be farther out and some meandering around, so it's a longer distance, but at least I know how to go home. I made it safely to the hostel. I didn't get lost after that. It was a very enjoyable short morning run, and get ready for the day. Our national park passport stamps, and this is also where you get them, and they have probably about 7.
See what you picked up and learned, and we'll give you the junior ranger badge.
Visitor centers like this is just the perfect place to learn so many things about the place, and this particular one was interesting, so there's a lot of things that kids can explore, and definitely check it out. Point Bonita Lighthouse is cancelled. It is not open due to the weather. We're just gonna walk around, just enjoy the scenic beauty of the Golden Gate Bridge just across the bay. I know not the best shot because it's just against the sun, but at least where is it? Just right there. It's a Golden Gate Bridge. I'm gonna drive across Golden Gate Bridge later on back to the San Francisco area. San Francisco is filled with ruins of the battery fortification fort that was built to protect the city of San Francisco. This particular one is Battery Mandel. It was built in 1905. It was an active military fort all the way to 1943, and finally it was abandoned and now part of the National Park Service. You could climb up all the way to the top. You could actually see the downtown San Francisco and the Golden Gate Bridge, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful high point. But it's kind of eerie how the structure is falling apart. It's so bright out, but you know, it's kind of cool. If you're driving around this area, a lot of times they don't have connection. We try to get to places, Google Maps, whatever, Instagram, Twitter, they're not gonna be available. We actually picked up a passenger here today. Where are you guys from? Japan?
Japan, yes.
Oh, konnichiwa. That was interesting. When I was about to leave Sausalito, I met these two ladies who barely spoke any English. They were asking me how to get to Golden Gate Bridge because they had problem with their cell phone reception. So I said, you know, I'm heading out that way anyway, and I'm just gonna give you a ride. And they told me that they wanted to go to Japantown, and I had to look it up. Voila, I dropped them off, and they were really grateful, and hopefully they have a great visit in San Francisco. Was a wine tasting. You have to request a card from the bartender. Gives you 5 different wine selection that you can choose from the machine. You just have to scan in, select your wine, and you get like a little tiny bit for you to taste. It's fun. I got actually 2 cards, and I had 6 different wines. Back at the hostel. Thank you for those who were concerned. Highly doubt there's anybody who care. But I think you have to be very careful if you're doing a trail rain, if you're doing a trail run,